This'll teach him to shut up. A man in central China, fed up with noise from his upstairs neighbors, bought a building shaker to retaliate against them. The tenant, identified in Chinese media only by his surname Zhao, was fed up with his neighbor's kid, who was always running and jumping around. When nothing changed after he complained, Zhao went online and bought a building shaker, a motorized device that pounds against the ceiling or walls. Zhao turned the machine on around 8 p.m. on April 7th, and then left his home for the weekend, leaving the contraption running continuously for 2 days straight. The upstairs neighbors called the building's property management staff, but realized there was nothing they could do until Zhao returned home and switched the device off. Zhao got back on Sunday afternoon, having achieved the intended outcome of driving his neighbors insane with his noisemaker. Fortunately, there was a happy ending. Police got Zhao to turn the device off, and Zhao and his neighbors promised to never bother each other again. If you're interested, you can buy a building shaker from the Chinese website Taobao. Prices start at $11, so what you waiting for? Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Think you have annoying neighbors? See how they stack up in comparison to these inconsiderate jerks.
Elderly neighbor burns 2 kids in revenge acid attack. A feud between 2 neighboring families in a small village in China's Hunan province produced its first fatality with the death of 5-year-old Xiaoxing. 5-year-old Xiaoxing and her older brother Xiaoming, aged 8, were attacked by the elderly neighbor their grandfather had been feuding with. The 2 50-year-old gentlemen had been feuding over a disputed piece of land, and the children's grandfather had allegedly attacked their neighbor, Mr. Liu, and beaten him with a stick last year. Mr. Liu, sore in more ways than one, attempted to sue the grandfather for $60 and ownership of the disputed piece of land. The trial dragged on, and early last week Mr. Liu lost his patience with the children's grandfather. So, one day Mr. Liu spotted the brother and sister and kidnapped them. Mr. Liu dragged the 2 children into the mountains and poured acid over them. Mr. Liu poured acid over the children's heads and down their throats when they began screaming. Other villagers heard the screams and were able to save the children and capture the crazed Mr. Liu. Xiaoming and Xiaoxing were both rushed to hospital. Unfortunately, 2 days later, Xiaoxing, the 5-year-old granddaughter, died from her injuries. Her older brother, Xiaoming, remains in hospital at the ICU. Doctors said that even if the 8-year-old boy survives his injuries, he will be blind for the rest of his life. The children's parents said they want Mr. Liu to die the same way, being forced to drink acid.
UK man fakes being crippled and in a coma for 2 years. A British conman who pretended to be in a coma when he was supposed to be in court after he scammed his next-door neighbor out of $65,000 was able to keep the charade up for 2 years. Authorities say 47-year-old Alan Knight of South Wales had been scamming benefits while pretending to be a quadriplegic who had seizures and would occasionally fall into a coma. During that time, he was conning his elderly neighbor out of his retirement fund to pay for holidays and to buy a caravan. Knight was caught numerous times on CCTV in Tesco stores across the country after police traced his family's loyalty club card. Police tried twice to bring him into court, but both times he checked himself into a hospital, claiming his condition had worsened, where his wife would pretend to take care of him. Problem is, when he was in a coma, he was spotted by doctors eating, wiping his face, and even writing. When he finally showed up for court, he was wearing a neck brace and sitting in a wheelchair pushed by his wife. Knight has cost the police, the healthcare system, and the court system thousands of dollars. He admitted to 19 separate charges of forgery, fraud, and theft, and will be sentenced next month.
Iowa woman charged after mailing poop to her neighbors. When Mary Eppert and her husband received a doo-doo-filled package one day in mid-December, the Burlington, Iowa couple knew immediately who was to blame. The pair had been feuding with their neighbors for the last 4 years over their neighbor's dog's incessant barking. When direct complaints proved unsuccessful, the irritated couple took matter to police as well as animal control authorities. But when that too proved ineffective, they took to the web, posting footage of their neighbors barking Great Pyrenees onto YouTube. Things soon escalated, and Eppert received this package on December 13th. Why the neighbor, identified as 51-year-old Kimberly Capdevila, chose to grab cow dung rather than her dogs, which we would have think made for a better prank, remains unanswered. Capdevila has since admitted to pulling the stunt and faces up to 30 days in jail and a $620 fine if the charges stick.
say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews.
Maryland man busted for selfie stick voyeurism. Seems like you can't go anywhere these days without encountering a bunch of young people posing in front of a selfie stick. But as with any new technology, it's not long before people start using it for more nefarious purposes. And so it came to pass. A 58-year-old Bethesda, Maryland woman was watching football with her friend recently when she noticed something moving outside her sliding door. When she went over to see what was going on, the camera was quickly yanked away. Then as she opened the door to confront the peeping Tom, she heard the door of the adjacent apartment slide shut. She called the police, who went to visit her 60-year-old neighbor Donald Frazier Beard, who told police he was doing a public service by documenting the time his neighbor spent with married men as evidence for their wives, and that he had deleted all his photos. But when the boys in blue examined the content of Beard's hard drives, they found numerous photos of the woman and her car taken over a period of months, including one video of the neighbor topless that had been specifically labeled. Beard has been charged with various surveillance-related crimes and was released on bail pending trial on July 23rd, according to police. Silly old fool. If he'd wanted to spy on people legally, he should have just got a job here.
Man traps neighbor's puppy in his yard, shoots it dead. It's fair to say Christopher Samuels is one sick puppy after trapping and killing his neighbor's 2-year-old pit bull. On April 1st, Samuels' neighbor across the street, Michael Lemon, was having visitors over to his home. For some reason, Lemon says Samuels was taking pictures of Lemon's guests, which is what led to a confrontation between the two. As the neighbors argued in the street, Lemon's 2-year-old pit bull ran past them and into Samuel's yard. The puppy was drawn to the yard because it saw other dogs behind a fence and trotted over to greet them, a grave mistake. Samuel slammed his gate shut, trapping the dog inside. He then pulled out an AR-15 rifle. Please be advised, what happens next may be disturbing to witness.
You're shooting my dog. He enclosed my dog in his yard and he's shooting at my dog. I got you on camera, homie. I got you on camera. I got you on camera. Look. Call the cop. Call the cop. I got your ass on camera shooting my dog. Hey, my dog is not doing nothing to you. You the one that locked him in the yard. Yo, locked him in the yard. He shut the gate and now he's trying to shoot my dog. My dog's not doing it. No! That is f***ing up. That's f***ed up. Yeah, I got you on camera. I got you on camera. You f***ing close my... Yeah! Mother you! You motherfuckers, that's wrong! That is wrong! He killed my dog. This motherfucker, my dog got loose off his thing. My dog was not shacking nobody. He had closed my dog in his yard and f***ing brought out the f***ing AR-15 and killed my dog. No, that's...
Lemon's daughter posted the video to Facebook that night. In the post, she claims Samuels shot their dog twice, the second time in the head to drive them to fury. Police have since seen the video and say any claims of self-defense will not hold up. 54-year-old Christopher Samuels is facing charges of animal cruelty and negligent discharge of a firearm.